Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor and Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, and peace and salutations to all you brothers out there teaching this word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to the hopeful elect, the 1/3 scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. You so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, following the 100% truth, the doctrine of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. I'm doing a video here on some articles I've been reading on what's going on in Brazil. And as you know, Brazil, they call him the Brazilian Trump. This guy named President Jair Bolsonaro. He's a devil, okay? All right. His election's gonna lead to race wars in Brazil. And we know that in Brazil there's no but tribes over there. But amongst the tribes is the heathen. You have a lot of Moab, you have a whole lot of Ammon. You got Esau, you have Amalek, okay? And, of course, you have our people, the tribe of Asher, tribe of Levi, Judah, Benjamin, okay, Naphtali. And I'm going to read this article here and go in some scripture. It says, Brazil's Bolsonaro signs order endangering Amazon and indigenous rights. In his first day in office, right-wing Brazilian president Jair Bolsonaro realized the fears of environmentalists and indigenous communities. They knew he would use his time in office to increase the access of extractive industries in the Amazon rainforest. Within hours of taking power Tuesday, Bolsonaro transferred responsibility for Bolsonaro transferred responsibility to recognize indigenous lands to the Ministry of Agriculture, the New York Times reported. The agriculture ministry has ties to the agribusiness lobby and other industries and would like to gain access to indigenous lands, The Guardian and the New York Times reported. There will be an increase in deforestation and violence against indigenous people, Executive Coordinator of the Agricultural Articulation of Indigenous People of Brazil, Dinaman Tuxa, warned. According to The Guardian, indigenous people are defenders and protectors of the environment. Deforestation is already on the rise in Brazil, which saw its highest rate of tree clearing in a decade this past year. At the same time, during the last 8 years, the Brazilian government has reduced funding for indigenous groups and prioritized the desires of industries that want greater access to the rainforest. The government has also slowed the pace at which it recognizes indigenous lands in recent years. Bolsonaro's new order ups the ante by making the agriculture ministry responsible for the identification, delimitation, demarcation, and registration of lands traditionally occupied by indigenous people, Reuters reported. It also gives that ministry control over the management of public forests and the Brazilian Forestry Service, which is in charge of sustainable forest use. The order will expire in 120 days if it is not ratified by Congress. So this guy, Bolsonaro, is the devil. And the first thing that came to mind reading this article was the scriptures. Okay, mainly Isaiah 14, Revelation 11 and 18. I wanted to go start here at Job 9 and 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So all over the whole earth is given into the hands of the wicked. That's why wherever you go on the planet Earth, you want to go to Brazil, you think it's righteous over there, you can escape Babylon. It's wicked over there. The government is corrupt. The so-called white man is running the show. And what is he doing? He's punishing the earth. He's polluting it. He's chopping down the trees. He's oppressing the people that live in those lands, the indigenous people, the tribe of Asher. Okay, then you go into his mega cities. It's nothing but hell and death and destruction. Mainly on who? You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, you Israelites. And the Most High, he's got something in store for you damn devils, all right? And I'm going to keep reading, actually. This guy says, Bolsonaro defended his order on Twitter. Less than 1 million people live in these isolated places in Brazil, where they are exploited and manipulated by non-governmental organizations. Bolsonaro wrote, Let us together integrate these citizens and value all Brazilians. You fucking devils. Those people don't want to integrate, man. That's why they never wanted to integrate. You went over there, put them in slavery. A lot of our people, tribe of Asher, had to escape into the rainforest and be bug outs in order to survive. Because they rather go out there and be bug outs than serve in hardcore slavery. And that's exactly the only other option our people have. Okay? In those times. And it just recently changed, okay? I think Brazil was probably one of the last countries in the world to ban slavery, okay? And why is that? Because the so-called white man controls Brazil. He's the landowner. That's why he's going in and he's not recognizing tribe of Asher's lands and he's stealing it. Why? Because he's the so-called devil. He's Salakia. He's the devil the Bible speaks of. I'm going to keep reading because this is a pretty good article. It says, there's fear, there's pain. There's fear, there's pain. Berger told the New York Times of the recent order. This feels like defeat, failure. Bolsonaro also signed an order giving his government more power over NGOs, Reuters reported. The order gives the office of the government... Oh, Salakia, I'm not reading it right. Here it is. It says, Brazil's 1988 constitution was ratified after 21 years of military dictatorship and attempted to enshrine protections for indigenous communities and other marginalized groups after decades of oppression and exploitation. Decades? More like generations and centuries. During the dictatorship, the government had seen indigenous communities as a threat to economic opportunity and had tried to force them into the rest of Brazilian society, rather than recognizing their rights to live in their ancestral lands. The Constitution, in contrast, affirmed those rights. Yeah, so this white man, he always wants to say, oh, you gotta follow the law. He don't even follow his own goddamn law, man. He'll go ahead and change it to help his own wicked ass. All right, and this is another article. Brazil's indigenous people fight back against Bolsonaro's attacks on Amazon. Germany and Brazil have a long history of partnering on environmental protection, but President Jair Bolsonaro's stance on Brazil's indigenous people and their lands threaten the progress that has been made. So this is another article here that I'll put on the description, brothers who want to read up on it. Brazil expert Thomas Fadua predicts a major conflict brewing over indigenous land rights. Yeah, because these Asherites, they're going to go to war if you so-called white people. It's going to be a race war down there. Okay? And here's a good video here. Which is very true. It's not you Edomites' land. So, yeah, you brothers could check out that video. You see, there's some warriors, okay? They want to go to war to protect their ancestral lands. And why is that? Because the so-called white man is going to go in there and take it back, take it away from them. That's how he operates, okay? That's how the white man gets down. Let me get this. Habakkuk 2 and... Where's it at? Habakkuk 2 and 6. I'll start at 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathered unto him all nations, and heaped unto him all people. You damn devils. And that's exactly what Bolsonaro is doing, so-called white man. He wants to say, oh, we got to integrate these indigenous people. Why don't you just let them be, all right? You already tried integrating people. And what'd you do? You destroyed their entire way of life. You put them in slavery. You beat it out of them. All right? You did that to none other than the tribes of Israel, the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and this more specifically, the tribe of Asher. Okay? And we're taking that proverb and that parable against you, saying, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. That's not your land. And he's doing dirtbag moves, and he's giving it to the Brazilian version of Monsanto. And then if you watch this documentary called Rotten, let me actually just pull it up. Netflix Rotten. They show you the Brazil agriculture. The Brazilian agriculture is super corrupt, and they go about Brazilian chickens. All right, I believe it was it's like their Tyson chicken type of. Which episode is it? Big Bird. The ruthlessly efficient world of chicken production pits vulnerable growers against one another, leaving them to vicious acts of sabotage. I believe it's the chicken one. Right? And it shows you how grimy and disgusting those agriculture companies do just to make money, man. To make a profit. And they don't give a damn who's eating the food there. Okay? And so, yeah, this article here speaks about the lands. Like I said, I'll put in the link. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up on a few more scriptures here. This is Revelation 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And it's clear as day to see who's the one destroying the earth. It's you so-called white people. And who's the people trying to protect it, man? It's the Israelites. We're the only people. All right, we're protecting it spiritually. You prophets, okay, of the here in Babylon and all throughout the four corners of the earth, teaching the word. We're doing it spiritually. Then you actually got our people out there fighting, man. Warriors actually trying to fight the so-called white man. But when that time comes, we know that our people are gonna overcome, as it said there, and it says, "Shouldest destroy them, but destroy the earth." Let me get this. This is Isaiah 14 and 3. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve, that thou shalt take up his proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice in thee, at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. And that's beautiful, because even the trees are going to be rejoicing when the so-called white man is destroyed here in Babylon. All right? Smote the people in wrath, the continual stroke. That's who else is that? Who else could that be speaking of other than America and the rest of you so-called white people? Because you ain't never stopped. Oh yeah, you try to act. Oh, I'm from Europe. Hey man, Europe. You're the reason why all this hell is so-called Europe. You being a German, you being from Ireland, you being from Britain, you're the reason why our people are dying. The earth is dying. Your people are dying. This world is wicked and evil. It's because of you. And the trees are going to be rejoicing. Why? Because in the Amazon, that's our life source, the entire Earth's life source, okay? I believe the Amazon supplies over, you can correct me, but it supplies close to 70% of all the world's oxygen, if I'm not mistaken. It's definitely a high number, okay? Yet the so-called white man is over there extracting all its resources, all the while doing what? Displacing, destroying, and killing entire tribes of people, right? And those people are Israelites. So I just want to go into this, let you brothers know what's going on in Brazil. And with that, I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakar. Double honors to our apostles and elders at Millstone. And peace and salutation, you brothers out there, teachers, words in truth and sincerity. The so-called white man, you're finished, man. Shalom.